DeKalb and Donovan counties. This is News Press Now, Morning Edition on Fox 26 KNPN.
We're already starting to see the impacts, and it's a monster.
Hurricane Matthew tearing its way onto the east coast of the U.S. We have the latest as residents run for cover, while others batten the hatches to wait out the storm. Plus, damaging winds not exclusive to the east coast as people in Kansas wake up to the devastation left behind as a tornado rips through the area on Thursday. We're going to have a look at that damage. Right now, we are taking a live look at the hurricane track that is going up the east coast. This is Hurricane Matthew right here, but Molly says it has not made landfall as of yet.
Now you can see that little white line. It did move over one of the islands just off the coast of Florida, but it hasn't made landfall on the continuous United States yet. It's expected to just skirt the east coast, moving across or right next to Florida, Georgia, as well as South Carolina this morning, bringing quite a bit of torrential rainfall and damaging winds along with it.
Well, good morning, guys. It's Friday, October 7, 2016. This is Morning Edition on Fox 26 KNPN. I'm Alex Whippen.
And I'm Molly Bernard.
Well, as we said, it is definitely pretty dangerous stuff going on in Florida, much of the east coast or southeast coast right there. This is a live camera that we're pulling out of Florida right there. Not looking too bad there, but you can see the winds steady, clouds rolling through, but no big storm surges right here on this particular camera. But still, a lot of people running for cover. You know, highways are packed with people leaving, and of course there are the people like Molly, who says that she wouldn't be running. She'd stick there. She'd stick it out.
Yeah, I think I'd be all for doing a live shot in a hurricane. It looks a little entertaining, but it's definitely not something to mess with. There's very dangerous conditions, and you saw how windy it was in that picture. And the hurricane's actually passed that area already, so they're still seeing a lot of wind from that, and it's going to continue for the next couple of days as it continues to move along the coast.
Yeah, scary stuff, scary stuff. Well, what are we expecting here weather-wise? I noticed this morning on my way to work, I could have used a little heavier jacket than I actually brought.
Yeah, I could have too. I had just a jacket on. I was a little chilly. Temperatures outside right now just sitting in the mid-40s across the entire viewing area, so you're going to want that jacket. It's also pretty windy, which is making it a little bit cooler, and this afternoon it's definitely going to feel like fall out there.
Well, we're going to hear all about that coming up. Right now, we're going to go back to Hurricane Matthew. It has weakened to a Category 3 storm overnight, but still packing quite a punch. These strong winds in Palm Bay, Florida, just an early sign of what's to come. Hurricane Matthew made landfall yesterday, as Molly told you, over a small island called Grand Bahama Island. It's expected to continue its track up the east coast over the next 48 hours. It may not make landfall over the continuous U.S., but still expected to produce a dangerous storm surge, or lots of dangerous storm surges, destructive winds, flooding across Florida, Georgia, and the South Carolina coast. Maximum sustained winds still at 120 miles per hour overnight, meaning this storm still considered a major hurricane. The National Weather Service has been warning people that some homes and buildings in central Florida or along the coast could be devastated by the storms and might be left uninhabitable for weeks or months. This weekend, Hurricane Matthew will leave many without home, shelter, and in some cases even food. Local Red Cross volunteers are trying to fly out to help with the recovery effort, but as Nathan Elgin reports, that is no easy task.
Hurricane Matthew has already devastated the Bahamas and is only gaining strength as it continues hitting the East Coast. American Red Cross chapters around the country are sending volunteers and resources to states that will be affected by Matthew. The Western Missouri region of the Red Cross has already sent 3 of their 4 emergency response vehicles, and a number of local volunteers will eventually be deployed.
A lot of our volunteers who are anxious to go to Florida and Carolina and help out there, we rely on them heavily here too, because the disasters over there, our disasters don't stop. There's still home fires here, there's still things happening here, there's a potential storm tonight. So in the meanwhile, I'm getting kind of 2 standby lists. One standby to head east and another standby list to say, okay, well, if something happens here, we got to identify resources for here too.
One human resource volunteer from St. Joseph was planning to fly out Thursday morning, but will now leave Saturday morning because roughly 1,300 flights were canceled.
With the Red Cross, they tell you be flexible. I went through that this morning trying to schedule my flight to Florida, and I have now changed it 4 times due to the weather because they don't really know when it's going to hit. They don't know if the airports are going to stay open or if they're going to close.
Recovery efforts for Hurricane Matthew could last several weeks or several months. And you can pitch in by training to become a Red Cross volunteer or by donating money, not supplies.
That way we can coordinate, we don't duplicate resources, so not everybody's bringing the same thing, and we're all in that planning phase, so we know what's needed and we can get what's needed, and then again we can send that money to the community too for those people who can make choices and kind of regain control of their lives a little bit.
Nathan Elgren, News Press Now.
Residents in central Kansas are cleaning up after strong storms, including tornadoes, moved through the region Thursday. This was the scene in Saline County, where a tornado tore through the area during the afternoon hours. Several structures were damaged, including one home. Thankfully, there have been no reports of any injuries. All right, it's time to turn back over to Molly. She is in the Weather Center right now, forecasting a pretty cool weekend for us ahead. Thankfully, none of all this terrible weather we've been talking about coming to our area in the next few days.
Yeah, exactly. We are seeing quite a bit of cloud cover out there right now, and we saw some storms roll through yesterday. They weren't severe in our area, but like Alex did just say, there were some tornado warnings over portions of Kansas. That cold fronts moved off to our east, so now we're just seeing some cloud cover, and even that's going to clear off over the course of the day. Temperature is the big thing this morning, right around 45 degrees here in St. Joseph, 46 in Kansas City, 43 degrees in Maryville. I was chilly and I had a jacket on when I was walking to my car, so definitely bring that jacket with you this morning. You're probably going to want to keep it with you for most of the day today, with highs just reaching into the lower 60s. For your bus stop forecast, temperatures right around 48 degrees. You're going to want to take that jacket, and the conditions also pretty windy, with winds coming in out of the north at 10 to 15 miles per hour this morning, gusting as high as 20 miles per hour. Those winds are going to calm down, but we are going to see pretty chilly conditions throughout the course of the entire day. It's definitely going to feel like fall this afternoon and this evening for Friday Night Football, and those fall-like temperatures looking to stick around at least for a while, and it's going to give us a beautiful weekend with highs just reaching the lower 70s.
Oh, that's beautiful right there. In fact, it looks, that's not a frozen image there. That's a moving picture, and it does not look like there's much wind outside right at this moment. You can kind of see the trees moving.
Yeah, they're moving a little bit. Those winds are really going to start to die down pretty quickly as that cold front continues to move off towards the east.
Well, when it's as chilly as it is right now, any wind makes a big difference. You feel that.
Yeah, exactly, especially since the winds are coming from the north, because winds from the north, it's colder up north, so the winds are a little bit colder too.
Makes sense to me. That's even science I can understand.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, defendants in the death of Skylar Powell came to court yesterday to submit guilty pleas, but the judge had some other plans. Justin Smith, who pleaded guilty to voluntary manslaughter for the shooting death of the young teen, told the judge he was just the driver. Judge Patrick Robb rejected that plea. Prosecutors say Smith actually fired the shot that killed Powell during a botched drug deal in May. The defense says there's no way to know for sure, and it was a reaction to Powell's own actions. Judge Robb said there needed to be more evidence presented. Smith will be back in court next week for that. The judge did accept the plea of Ashton Surite. She admitted to setting up the deal, knowing that the late Powell wanted to rob them. Surite pleaded guilty to attempted robbery, now faces 15 years in prison. Gabriel Dawson, Kyle Smith, and Dane Matthews, all of their pleas accepted yesterday. For their charges, you can check out Marshall White's story. That's online right now at newspressnow.com.
Several schools and churches have become targets in recent years for terrorists and other violence. St. Joseph Christian School hosted a safety summit Thursday where leaders from local private schools, churches, and law enforcement discussed how to prepare for such a scenario. The group learned how to identify people who may pose a threat to their students or congregation, and they also talked about the importance of developing a plan to deal with emergency situations whether it's a fire or an active shooter.
The only way a plan works is if it's specific to your facility, to your people, your skill set of your team, so it's very individualized. Those plans out there are great as getting you thinking, brainstorming, but really it needs to be a specific plan for your building and for your church.
Nearly 24 staff members from local private schools, churches, and law enforcement attended the Safety Summit. A wave of heroin-related overdoses and deaths in the Midwest are linked to the drug being mixed with an elephant tranquilizer called carfentanil. Carfentanil is considered 10,000 times more potent than morphine. The mixture is tied to about 200 deaths in the Cincinnati and southern Indiana area. Christina Hannon, Vice President for Behavioral Health at Family Guidance, says carfentanil is used for animals.
Because the medication has, or the substance has no application for human use, we don't know exactly what dosage of this substance is lethal. What we do know is that fentanyl can be lethal at 2 milligrams depending on other health conditions and certain factors, but 2 milligrams could be a lethal dose of fentanyl. This medication is significantly more potent than fentanyl.
Local law enforcement officials say there's already reports of the substance in the Kansas City area. Well, is your neighbor's grass getting a little too tall? The city talked over that exact thing at a meeting last night. What they decided about what you can do about it, coming up. Plus, if you're not registered to vote, you can't. Sounds simple enough, but inevitably some will be turned away on Election Day because they let it slip through the cracks. The deadline to register looms, and we're going to tell you how much time you have to weigh in on the November election when we return. Don't go away.
Good Friday morning. For your early morning bus stop forecast, temperature sitting right at 48 degrees. It's also going to be pretty windy out there with winds coming in at 10 to 15 miles per hour. So you're going to want to grab a jacket as you head out the door this afternoon. Temperature is just climbing to right around 62 degrees. Cool conditions, and it's going to be pretty sunny out there. So that is some good news after we see quite a bit of cloud cover early this morning. Tomorrow afternoon, we'll see high temperatures a little bit closer to 70 degrees. Alex?
All right, thanks, Molly. The St. Joseph City Council talking ordinances to keep the city looking top-notch. Senate Bill 572 determines how cities take care of nuisances on private properties. City crews can perform emergency abatements on properties like trimming brush that may block a motorist's view at an intersection, and for the city to charge the owner of the property for that work. It also extends the amount of time that a property owner has to resolve a code violation before the city moves in to do it. Advance notices are also required for the owner and any occupants of the property.
Before the city does an abatement, or before we go on the property and clean it up, we have to give 10 days notice now. In the past, the statute required that we give 7 days notice. We actually already added a couple days onto that for mail delivery.
You have to provide the 10-day notice and have to notify the occupant as well as the tenant if it's a landlord type of situation.
Council will vote on the ordinances at its regular meeting next Monday night. For more, you can check out Brendan Welch's article. You can find it online right now, newspressnow.com. You may have noticed signs along Farron Street in Midtown that say St. Joe Serve. That section between 15th and 22nd will get a facelift this Saturday morning thanks to 2 local agencies. Starting at 9 a.m., St. Joseph Habitat for Humanity and several St. Joe Serve churches will spruce up the area. Local churches, agencies, and retailers also teamed up for the cleanup. Some of the work will include repair or replacement of roofs, porches, sidewalks, and windows. The residents will make a partial payback and help out with the repair. To learn more about how you can help, all you got to do is call Habitat for Humanity, a great organization. You can do so by reaching them at the number you see there at the bottom of your screen. General election just under a month away, but you can't vote if you don't register first. That deadline 5 days away now. Megan Miller has more on the process and how election officials are making it easier.
The clock is ticking, and there's an important date that should be on your calendar.
We're coming down to the crunch time for people to get registered to vote, and the last day is coming up in 6 days, which is Wednesday, October 12th.
The Buchanan County Clerk, Mary Bach Garvey, says she is trying to make it easier for people to register by extending office hours on the 12th until 7 p.m. Plus, they will have a voter registration booth set up at Ray's Green Hills on October 12th from 4:30 to 7 p.m. Missouri Western is also getting involved. They recently held a mock Trump versus Clinton debate and had registration booths so students could sign up right then and there.
I knew that the debates were going to be happening in October, and so I wanted to plan a debate at the beginning of October. And when I was in the process of it, our president, Dr. Vardabedian, wanted there to be a voter registration component to it, and that's where we got the idea.
All you need to register is some basic information about yourself and photo ID. Bach Garvey says it's a pretty simple process.
You can do it online through the Secretary of State's office, or if you come in here in person, it takes literally 1 minute. We just look at your ID, fill out a form, have you sign it, and that's it.
And one student who just registered to vote says that's true.
Oh, it's so simple. It's very easy. Get it done just like that.
Out-of-state students and other temporary residents can still participate either by registering here in Missouri or registering in their own state and filing an absentee ballot.
That's what I recommend they do, because with the local candidates that are on their ballots, they're going to know them.
For more information on registering to vote, you can contact your county clerk or stop by your county's courthouse. For News Press Now, I'm Megan Miller.
Northwest Missouri State faced the top passing offense in the league last week, but this week, the #1 ranked team will face the most balanced attack. Despite having a 1-4 record, Central Oklahoma is ranked 4th in total offense in the MIAA. They're putting up 441 yards per game. The key to success for the Broncos appears to be through the air, with 266 yards per game, but it is the running game that's making the difference, with 13 of the team's 15 touchdowns.
As well as Kevin on the other side at the other safety, and myself, we're going to have to be able to trigger down and go tackle. They have two very physical running backs who put their head down and will pretty much just run through anything in front of them. So I think it'll be big tackling throughout the entire secondary. We'll work on it a lot this week.
Northwest Missouri State looks for its 21st win in a row Saturday in Edmond, Oklahoma versus Central Oklahoma. Game time, 2 p.m. Well, Taylon Wilkinson is a Riverside sophomore who's now battling leukemia. Brandon Zenner spoke with him and a very close teammate about his fight to win.
I woke up and when I was saying, Mom, my arm on the left side I can't feel it. We thought I was having a heart attack. My nurse practitioner came in, she said, you are diagnosed with PH-like leukemia.
Growing up in Wathena, Taylon Wilkinson loved sports just as much as the next kid. As a freshman last year, he joined Riverside's football, basketball, and baseball teams.
In 8th grade, it felt good because I was like the biggest over the whole school, because, you know, and then going to a freshman, I'm the littlest, so now I'm the one feeling like a little kid. So it was, I think it was good for me to get that experience.
But on May 6th, one day after playing a baseball game, his life changed.
Well, I was walking to my 4th hour, and his girlfriend, they've been together forever, she told me she was sorry, and I never knew what happened until he sent me the text message, and I looked at her phone, and it was a hard time, and just like every bad thought was running through my head, and it was hard to stay positive, but I had to find some way to stay positive for me and my family.
That positivity came out on the football field. As a senior on the football team, Traynez wears loads of orange, the color of leukemia awareness.
I feel like it made us closer together. So it felt good just knowing, hey, I have an older brother here that looks out for me like really well. So I thought it was nice.
For the next 3 years, Taylon will continue treatments. But to his liking, he plans to be suiting up for the basketball team this January.
It was the happiest day of my life because I really love the sport. So when they told me that, I was like, it makes me feel better. Like I can still do what I used to do, even though I have leukemia.
In Wathena, I'm Brandon Zenner. News Press Now.
Well, coming up, we are delving right back into the world of subscription boxes. And of course, we are going to give you a chance to win one sent straight to your door, virtually for doing nothing at all. It's This Box Rocks. We're doing it after the break, but first.
Well, we are going to see pretty cool temperatures this afternoon, but those temperatures are slowly going to start to climb over the course of next week. I'll let you know exactly what you can expect coming up right after the break. Good Friday morning. It is a pretty chilly start out there with temperatures just sitting right at 45 degrees here in St. Joseph right now, and the wind coming in from the west-northwest at 16 miles per hour. So pretty chilly and windy, which means you're definitely going to want that jacket as you head out the door early this morning. You can see across the area the cold front that pushed through last night and brought us a few showers and thunderstorms working its way across the country. You can see 70 degrees in St. Louis, but it's just 40 degrees in Lincoln. So that cold front continuing to move off towards our east. It's through here in St. Joseph, which has left our temperatures pretty chilly to start the day. Across the entire area, we're seeing temperatures sitting there in the lower 40s in Falls City, 43 in Maryville, 45 degrees in Trimble. So across the entire area, the lower 40s all the way up to the mid 40s. So everyone probably going to want that jacket as they head out the door this morning. Taking a look at radar, you can see clear conditions here in St. Joseph. Those storms that moved through last night associated with this cold front, they've since petered out just a little bit, and that cold front continuing to push off towards the east, and that's what it'll do for the next couple of days. It's through here in St. Joseph, which is going to leave us with lots of sunshine for the weekend as well. You can see on Futurecast by 8 o'clock, I think we'll have a few more clouds in the sky than what they're showing right here, but over the course of the day, we're going to see lots of clear conditions, lots of sunshine, and beautiful temperatures as well. It's definitely going to feel like fall as you step outside this afternoon and through the weekend. That sunshine is going to stick around, and if you're headed out today, definitely going to want that jacket this morning, and you're probably going to want it this afternoon as well. 50 degrees at 9 o'clock with mostly cloudy skies, 56 degrees at noon, and 62 degrees at 3. That's where our temperatures will top out, right around 62 degrees. It's definitely jacket weather out there. The sky's going to clear over the course of the day, and the wind coming in pretty strong right now. That's also going to decrease. So by the time Friday Night Football rolls around tonight, we'll see calm winds across the area, but pretty cool temperatures. 56 degrees at 7 o'clock when game time starts, and by 10 o'clock at the end of the games, the temperature is going to drop back down to 49 degrees. So pretty chilly conditions for the entire day today, and even as we head into the early morning hours tomorrow, it looks like we could drop below 40 degrees. Temperatures right around 38 degrees. So a pretty cold start tomorrow. We're going to see beautiful fall-like conditions sticking around for the weekend. So we head into next week, those temperatures picking up just a little bit. The average high right now sitting right at 71 degrees. We'll be right around 74 Monday and Tuesday. A cold front moving through the area, dropping those high temperatures back down into the upper 60s for the middle of next week. Here's a live look downtown. Your time right now is 6:53. Stay with us. We'll be right back after the break.
It's Friday, and of course, your chance to discover a new subscription box that might be just what you've been looking for.
In this week's This Box Rocks segment, we're having a snack attack with Rising Sun Snacks, and we're giving you a chance to take a box home for free. Here's Heather.
Beef jerky, chips, nuts. There are so many snack options out there, but sometimes you want to try something new and maybe a little healthier. This week, I have a box you're going to love. We're talking about Rising Sun Snacks, a company out of Hanover, Pennsylvania that, well, I'll let the company's CEO, Sean Adams, tell you.
Rising Sun Snacks is a business that we started a year ago, and it is a snack delivery company where we send 5 organic, non-GMO snacks directly to people's homes every month. always with a fun theme.
For instance, September's theme was Tailgate Party, featuring a variety of flavored nuts, trail mixes, and more, all conceived by experts who work day and night to find just the right balance of flavors you just can't find on store shelves.
We have 2 chefs on staff that actually hand make the majority of our snacks. We pack our snacks in our rural kitchen in Littlestown, Pennsylvania. So that's something we get excited about, and coming up with themes every month and really challenging chefs John and Matt to come up with, hey, what can we do to really meet that theme? And it's amazing what they come up with every month.
Customers have a variety of plans to choose from, month to month for about $20 to longer subscription plans. And if you find a snack that you just can't live without, like I have, Rising Sun Snacks also offers individual snacks for sale. A dream scenario for snack lovers and a dream business idea for Sean.
So that's really exciting, where you can have this dream that starts on your whiteboard in your basement, and you put a lot of hard work and effort and dedication into it, and all of a sudden you have this concept and company that people are responding to all over the United States. That's pretty awesome. This is us chasing our dream, and it's been so awesome.
So this week, not only does this box rock, it also tastes pretty darn good. For News Press Now, I'm Heather Flippin.
And now it is, of course, your chance to win not the same box we just showed you, because this week we're doing something that's food. We decided that we'd get one to show you, which we just did, and then we'll have one sent straight to your house. So what you have to do is you have to head over to the Fox 26 Facebook page and find the This Post. The This Box Rocks post. There you go.
And then all you have to do is like the post, share it, and you'll be entered to win a box full of great stuff from Rising Sun Snacks. It's a $20 value that you get absolutely for free, and we'll announce the winner on Monday.
Both
Good
of
luck.
us stumbled on this one, and I cut off your good luck.
Of course you did.
Both of us stumbled on this one, but really cool stuff, and all you got to do is go to our Facebook page. That's pretty easy to do. Facebook.com/Fox26KNPN. We have just a second to talk about weather. What you need to know right now is it is chilly.
It is chilly. Grab a jacket before you head outside, and we will be right back with more news and weather after the break.